Hello, my name's Rachel from In the Flow, and I'm about to take you through a short sequence of sun salutation, which is actually a lot more earthy, so it's more of an earth salutation, suitable for most people, including people who are pregnant from their second trimester with some precautions. So we'll start this standing. It's good to have a good hip distance with your feet, so maybe a little bit wider. Toes, middle toes facing forward as much as you can. Take a good inhale and lift up your toes. So you're trying to bring some energy into the body, energy through the arches of the feet, spreading the toes wide. You can spread your fingers as well if that helps. And we'll see if we can bring one toe at a time down to the floor. For example, from the big toes, second toes, third toes, fourth toes, fifth toes, and don't worry, I can't do it either, but it's good to just see how much we can spread the feet. I'd also like to make sure you're not locking the knees, so you're drawing up the thighs, but there's a little bit of softness, not a bend, just a little bit of softness in the knees, and allow your tail, your imaginary long tail, I like to think of it like a tiger tail, that reaches back to the floor behind you, and you feel a little bit of tone in the tummy there. Let the shoulders roll up and back. Take an inhale, lift up your arms, stretch your fingers, lift your toes again perhaps, and breath out, let the arms come down. We'll go to the back of the mat so that we can start the sun salute from there. Inhale, big lift up of the hands. Exhale, bend your knees, stick your bum back behind you and start to bring your hands down to the floor. Walking slowly as you go. At this point, you might want to bring a blanket for underneath your knees for a little bit of softness. And we can take a cat position here, so you can tuck your tail, tuck your head rounding the back up to the sky. Inhaling for pregnancy, we're just going to stay in neutral. If you're not pregnant, then by all means go ahead and take that into a full cow. You can start to move this around a little bit more. Maybe take the hands further back towards the knees. Have a little wriggle. You might even come onto fingers. So you can get a really good stretch in your spine. Let your head go. And as you walk the hands forward, you can soften the elbows, roll the shoulders. And again, if you're not pregnant, you can lift the head and tail in the air. Back and forward. And then we're going to start on the left side, so you can bring the left foot forward and start to make some circles here around the hips. If the floor is too far away from you here, use something like a bolster. You could pop your hands on here. You could even come down onto your elbows. At this point, let your head go and be soft. Just move as little or as much as feels okay, and change directions when you're ready. It's a good place to really feel into the foot here as well, rolling around the ball of the foot and the heel. From here, we're going to pause. We're going to lift up onto the fingertips. You might bring this left foot a little further in. Bring the elbow onto the knee. Have a little rock forward and back. Really feel the ground here. My best description for this feeling is engaging Mula Bandha. From the ground, it's a there. So we'll bring the right arm overhead, big circle. Notice how I'm moving through the elbow, so you get a lovely stretch in the chest. The circle is big, pulling back over the head. And we'll just do roughly about 4 or 5 of these. Bring the hands back to the floor. Send that leg back. Taking ourselves to a downward dog. Tuck your toes under. Lift the hips up and back. We can walk the feet wider if we like, giving lots of room to stretch the spine, reaching from side to side. To come up, bend your knees, you're on the toes, walk the hands back, bring the hands onto your thighs, come onto your heels, press strongly into the heels and come all the way up to stand. And we'll begin again. So inhale, lifting up through the arms. Exhale, coming down, bend the knees, forward into downward facing dog. Walk the hands forward. Bring the knees to the floor. Have a little walk back into your cat. And forward. back and forward. You can have a little feel around the mat any way you like. And then we'll take the right foot forward. You can walk it wide and really working into the foot there. So the foot's nice and strong on the floor. You don't have to make big circles, they can be small. Remember, you can use the bolster. Changing directions, you can let the head go. And then pausing at some point, you might walk that foot in a little, press the floor away, lifting up, elbow on side, little finger to thumb tip, and you can rock forward, make a big sweep, draw the elbow back, all the way around. Your gaze can follow your elbow, and your breath can follow the circles as well. Eventually coming down back into your down dog. Walking the hands back into your squat. Weight into the heels, support yourself with your hands. Come up, 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 up. And arriving to stand again. This time we'll come down to the earth. Take an inhale, lift up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees. Enjoy your last downward dog here. Bring the knees to the ground. And we'll take the bolster for a child this time. So you bring the bolster lengthways towards you, in between your knees. You're going to bring the chest down onto the bolster, resting your head onto one side with a chin drop down, and take a few breaths here. Lower yourself down slowly. Take your time. Now you can stay there for as many breaths as feels okay. When you're ready, you walk the hands back, turn the forehead to the bolster, and come up to sit. Take a few moments with your breath. You might slide this bolster through your legs, just to recenter yourself, maybe bringing the hands to the heart. And thank you very much. So my name's Rachel from In The Flow. If you want to find out more about my yoga, please go to beintheflow.co.uk.